Hi, how are you? We are back. Oh, I look a mess. So we are back. I say we like the royal we. What I mean is me and you guys back in the studio. It is Wednesday, the 22nd of April, 2020, and I apologise. I am early again. I have this problem where I come into situations and I'm always a bit early, so I'm sorry for that. So for that reason, I will try and just chat for a little bit, just to bide my time in case people really wanted to watch this and come in and watch me record and, generally have a lot of internal strife with myself. So if you are in, make sure you come and say hello and tell me where you are from, where you are, how you're doing during these mad COVID-19 times. I keep saying, people when they ask me like how am I handling it, and I'm like, I am in such a lucky position because I've got the studio, and I count myself so lucky every day because I think I would be going a little bit crazy without it. In fact, you can see that I go crazy with it. So imagine me without this studio. Oh my goodness, not a nice person to be around, I'm sure. But anyway, let's get back to the more important stuff. So today, I am back in the studio with the lovely, wonderful Virgil Deuce. So we've worked together on many a song. In fact, how many songs have we worked on so far together? We have worked on 10 songs! Oh, that's so fun! I didn't even know that just now. That's fun. And Virgil is wicked. Lovely fella. It's been a couple of years, I guess, that we've worked together, and he's brought me another song. Basically, the whole gist with this song is that he recorded it a long time ago, I think, before we had met, online. Doesn't it sound so dodgy? Oh well. And yeah, he decided that he wants the drums, just the drums re-recorded. So everything else is as it is, and he just wants me to replace the drums. I've had a very quick listen, and it's basically, it's not even a drum loop. In fact, I have to ask him what he used, because it's quite, what's the word? It's quite, not manic, but there's a lot of stuff going on. You'll see what I mean when I chart it and all of that. So I think my job today is going to be simplifying the drum part to let the lyrics and the instrumentation shine through, basically. We'll see how I get on with that. But anyway, like I said, I won't start for a few minutes yet, just because I'm on a bit early and it's not fair. So if you're in the room, make sure you say hello, let me know where you are, what you're up to, especially Corona vibes, what you're doing with this time. What is that? Oh, I need to unplug this disc, because that's important to be not in. Okay. Sorry. I just need to put this in here. I don't forget it tomorrow. So I'm going to tell you about another reason I'm really excited, and it's nothing to do with music at all, but it's about my second favourite thing in this world, and that is food. So me and my husband have been having 3 lean days, so today, yesterday and Monday, which basically means we can't eat like rubbish, anything sort of processed or chocolate, all the fun stuff that makes food awesome. No, that's a lie. We've been eating a lot like home-cooked meals, and it's been lovely. It's been really, really nice. But we decided that we were going to give ourselves a goal, and on Thursday, tomorrow, we're going to have a pizza party. So we're just going to order like a bunch of Dominoes and sit out. We've got a balcony. We're going to sit out in the sunshine. Hopefully, I hope it's sunny. And yeah, we're just going to enjoy eating rubbish food, and then we'll eat some, good food again on Friday. We've got David Otts in the house. Hello, happy Tuesday. Yeah, I think it's Wednesday, but I love that you don't even know what day it is. That makes me so happy. We've got K Rock in the house. Hi, Ken from DC, now Baltimore. Now trying to get back into recording, being in Q. Oh, in Q, as in the musical Q. Wait, I feel like I know you. Also lucky to have some way to record at home. Stay safe. Yes, you too. Okay, we're coming up to 5 to 3, so that's good enough. Right, let's have a listen. Come on, let me switch over to this. Yes. And let's do a chart. Like I said, I think my main role in this is going to be simplifying it to make the song shine through, basically. Like I said, I only had a very quick listen. I got the tempo and did all that sort of stuff because, quarantine. K-Rock, I apologise. I am so slow sometimes. I am so sorry. In quarantine, of course, not in Q, the musical. What is wrong with me? My brain sometimes. Yes, trying to get back into recording being in quarantine. Also lucky to have some way to record. I think a lot of us that are able to record and have a space, just a space to create, it's been our saviour. I was just talking to a friend of mine and he was saying the same. He said without his studio, what did he say? He's a funny guy. He's so funny. He's like one of the most hilarious people that I know. What did he say? He said, that's it. I'm good, but aware how weird this is and feel like I could melt down at any point. I just feel like that's how we're all feeling. We're all kind of on the edge of just madness, but we've each got our things that are sort of keeping us fairly sane within reason. And mine is certainly the studio. It's the same for him. Right, K-Rock said no problem. Awesome. Okay, right, we're going to do a chart for... I need to do this because that's going to blow your ears out. So this song is called Going to the Moon. To the Moon. And as I said, he recorded this, I think, like 3 years ago. I don't know why I've got 2017 in my head that he recorded this. But as he said, he wanted me to re-record the drums. So, yeah, we'll see what comes of it. Matt Lacey's here! Hello, Matt Lacey. How are you? Are you doing... I don't know why I'm doing this, like, what is that like? Oh, I don't know. I may as well do... Oh, no, not that, because that's not Nanu Nanu. Pardon me, sorry, I just clicked. Right, okay. Alright, let's just go for this and see what happens. I've just realised you can't hear a thing, can you? Silly, silly girl. Alright, let's try this again.
You can't have your cake and eat it too. At least that's what they say is true. But if you're going to the moon, you better bring some mellow too. When it comes to me and you, who knows what's what and what is true? And if you know just what to say, then you can have it your own way.
So I think what he was going for with the drums that he used was kind of this sort of how would I explain it? Like not jazzy quite, but somewhere between jazz funk, I suppose. So there's an element of improvisation going on, a few fills, stuff like that, which I'm all for, absolutely. But it's things like the lyrics I want to make sure that I am like out for, and also there's a lot of instrumentation going on. I just want to check something.
Who knows what's what and what is true?
Also, instrumentally, there's a couple of things that don't quite hit in the same place, so I have to either choose something to go with or create parts that kind of bring those parts together so they don't sound so sparse from each other. Not sparse from each other, sorry. So like far away from each other in their placement. Some of it's really, really subtle, but you know, it's just one of those things that you can hear. So yeah, it kind of happens like that. Right, Matt Lacey drummer is good. Good, I'm glad to hear it. Anyone else that's in, make sure you say hello. There's like 10 people in here right now, and only three people have said hello. So come say hello. I don't bite. I'm not scary, I promise. I like to know who's in and where you are and what you're doing. It's alright, you all seem to get chattier as the day goes on, so it's totally fine. I'm a little bit, I was a little bit tired before coming to do this, but then I just went into the house and I just had a banana and an egg. What kind of combo is that? I am ready to rock. Okay, so I'm going to have in my head, but I want it to be a groovy, funky thing. I'm going to go with my gut because, as I said, the guide track is kind of quite, not experimental, but there certainly isn't one loop going on. There's a bunch of fills in there, there's all sorts of stuff. So I'm just going to go with my gut, see what happens. I think I'm just going to go in, do 3 takes and see what happens. And as you can see on my chart, I have written down that, because I started out saying that this section was the chorus. The reason I did that is because that's where the line is for the song. However, in terms of instrumentation and the way that it opens out when it gets to this section, I decided, okay, I'm just going to call this the bridge and the chorus. Even though Virgil may not, I want to call it that because then I know to open up. I think that needs to go to the ride and just lift a bit, and then it can come back in and be quite groovy and quite kind of like, not breakbeaty, but somewhere around that area. Breakbeat, funky, James Brownie, Clyde Stubblefield kind of feel. Obviously, I have none of those things, but I can try and like do a good job of doing my version of that. So yeah, I think that's the plan. Right, who else we got in? Oh, we got Kev Cook from Cornwall. Don't tell me you're from Red Roof. See, I remembered. So Kev Cook, good to see you. I told my husband that you were in and you were from Red Roof, and we were like, oh, Cornwall. And then we decided that we need to go to Cornwall because we've never been to Cornwall together, even though we've both been separately. And it's one of my favourite places on earth. So we've got to go. Who else in? Richard Woods. Hello. Hello. How you doing? Must be a Londoner or something of that sort. And Mikiko Darkling is in. Hello from Tokyo. Konnichiwa or genki desu ka? I literally know like the tiniest amount of Japanese, but I'm trying to learn more in this time. So I'll try and think of some. Mikiko, please stick around so that I can try out my Japanese, because all I can think of right now is Toire wa doko desu ka? Which I know where it is. It's in there. So, you know, it's kind of not... I'm not very good conversationally, but I'm very good at finding out where a toilet is in Japan. That's kind of where I'm at with that. John Bonner is here. Hey, from North London! John Bonner? I think my Alexa's listening. John Bonner, do I know you in real life? IRL? And if I do or if I don't, where in North London are you? Because that's where I grew up. Which you may know if you know me in real life. Walrus Tass is here again. Yes, g'day from non-specific Isoland. Hope you're well and safe. I am, and that really made me laugh. And Mikiko, great. arigatou gozaimasu, or domo arigatou gozaimasu. And I know about the arigatou gozaimashita. That is my proudest thing I know in the Japanese language, the whole previous tense thing. Honestly, I said that to a Japanese lady that was teaching me to cook some Japanese food, and she looked at me like, how do you know that? And I was like, it's literally like one of 4 things that I know, but it makes me so happy. Kev Cook, yes, indeedy, you're welcome down here anytime, and I will let you know if I'm down there for sure. Okay, right, we're going to go in and do... I love that I keep saying we. It's making me sound slightly mental, but I am a Gemini, so I guess I do have the dual personality thing going for me. Do you like that? I'd say going for me, right? Mikiko, fantastic. Oh, Mikiko, if you turn up on live stream, I'm just going to start spouting any Japanese. In fact, now I'm going to have to go and learn some new stuff tonight so that I can come back at you next time and just start, talking very, very short sentences. Right, okay, sorry. Focus. I'm here to drum. I'm going to switch over to the live room and I'm going to go and do, I reckon, 3 takes of this, and I think that we'll be able to cut something together that will make a really good and interesting drum track that does let the vocals and the melody sing. It will go with it, as well as having that element of kind of that funky kind of element with a few fills here and there. So we'll see. We'll just see what happens. I'm going to go with my gut. It tends to, work for me. So famous last words. Right, watch me have a absolute nightmare. Okay, right, I will be back in about 3 takes. I will see you shortly. I'm going to switch over to the live room now.
You can't have your cake and eat it too. At least that's what they say is true. But if you're going to the moon, you better bring some mellow tunes. When it comes to me and you, who knows what's what and what is true? You can't have your cake and eat it too. At least that's what they say is true. But if you go into the moon, you better bring some mellow tunes. When it comes to me and you, who knows what's what and what is true? You can't have your cake and eat it too. At least that's what they say is true. But if you go into the moon, you better bring some mellow tunes. When it comes to me and you, who knows what's what and what is true?
Geez, how stressful. Not just because it's me, and literally, worst 2 words you can say to me in my life, drum solo. And it kind of felt like I was doing that a little bit. But it's fine. I feel like there is a song I've carved out within that sort of like madness. My wrists were really hurting by the end there, which is just terrible. I'm meant to be a professional drummer, crying out loud. I can play a 2-hour show and get 3 takes of this. So I'm like, ooh, my wrists hurt a bit. I'm definitely out of. I'm not up to match fitness, am I? Let's see what a few people. Let me just. I just need to save this just for peace of mind. I'll just click in here. Kev Cook, yep. Oh, Kev Cook is a Gemini too. Amazing. When is your birthday, Kev Cook? I love birthdays and Geminis and just all these sorts of things. It's fun. Paste formula or pasty. Sorry, I always said paste as a kid, and it's one of those things I can't help it. It's like Mark Mondesir. It's actually Mark Mondesi, the drummer, but I just have to say Mark Mondesir because I've just always said it that way. Anyway. Peisty, formula 6021. Hi. John Bonner, I'm in Crouch End. No, we've never met. Lol, I found your channel after Open Fire video. Well, John Bonner, can we talk about banners? And I don't know how long you've been in Crouchand, but can we also talk about, what was it called? Ataria? No, Ataria's still there up in Finchley. No, there was an amazing sushi deli at the bottom of Alexandria Palace Hill. Fuji Foods, of course it is. Fuji Foods, amazing. They used to make this. They used to sell black cod in miso, which was amazing. You could cook at home, which was brilliant. But they also had this amazing signature roll, and it was just, they're not there anymore. Gutted. I mean, I'm not there either, to be fair. I live in Harlow, so it's a bit of a trek for me these days. But banners, I still travel for banners. In fact, that's usually where I go for my birthday. If I can, I will go to banners. And Makiko says she's a Darkness fan too. So Makiko is one of the Darkness's biggest fans, and she is a sweetheart. Jonathan Kane, great take, thank you. I don't know which one you were talking about. The one that I think felt I don't know which one felt the best. It all feels like a blur to me now, so I'm just going to listen back, and just when something irks me or makes me cringe a little bit, that's generally when I go to the next take or the last take or the take before, just to see. Walrus Tass, there's nothing getting by you. One day you'll remember to change to the ride on time. Yeah, I did that in 2 of the takes. I forgot to. I guess I was so into it. This is my excuse. I was so into it that I forgot to go to the ride. So I apologise. I'm not perfect. I've never claimed that. I don't know if you've watched any of my videos, my number one underline to everything that I do or say is I am by no means perfect, and this is all just through my experience. So yes, in my experience, yes, I just missed the ride part twice. But it's fine, because I know that I got in the first take and we can take it cheekily from another bit, so it's fine. We've also got Sarah Jessa Dason. I'm really good at murdering names, so Sarah, it's lovely to have you in. Hello from Portland, Oregon. Beautiful place in the world. Well, hello to you. I hope you're keeping safe and healthy over there. And Jonathan Kane. Jonathan, really? This question? What drums and mics am I using? Okay, I'll do a real quick rundown, okay? Just because I know that there's a lot of people on here that are just going to be like, I literally don't care. But at the end of the day, I am a drum geek and I can't help that. So, the kit is a Ludwig 1968 Super Classic. Sorry, I get my names mixed up. Super Classic. And the snare drum on there today is, I think, a Ludwig 402 from the 70s. Cymbals are just a mixture of like zildjian A's and K's. I've got these lovely Sweet K Crash and Sweet K hats. They're 16-inch hats. I love them. And in terms of mics, many mics. There's currently 16 mics in my setup. So I'm literally going to talk you around the room. Okay, so we've got an Aston Spirit mic, which is like I'm using as a room mic. I've got a Rode K2, which is also being used as a room mic. I've got a set of Coles 4038s for the overheads. I've also got a single 4038 which I'm using at the front of the front of kit, like just to get a good image of the kit as a whole. On the kick drum, I've got an AKG D112, which is like industry standard. I've got an Aston Stealth, which is my kick out mic at the moment, which is a new mic for me, and I'm really enjoying it. It's a beautiful mic. I'm playing around with where to put it and stuff. And then I've got Solomon sub kick. I'm so sorry if I'm losing viewers right now. I totally get it, but Jonathan asked the question, so there we go. On my snare drum, I've got a Bayer Dynamic 201 on the top, which is the best snare top mic I've ever heard in my life. I was shown it by my friend Jonathan Atkinson, and I was like, well, that's me done. Speaking of Jonathan Atkinson, on the side of the snare, I've got a Shure Unidyne, which he bought me as a present, which was really, really lovely. And on the bottom of the snare drum, I think I've got, it's an Audix pencil mic. It's just to capture that. On the floor, under the mic, I've got what's it called? Beta 91, Shure Beta 91, you know, the flat mic that a lot of people put inside the bass drum. So I use that just to get like a feeling of the room. It's a pressure zone mic, so it's quite nice. AKG C251, I think it is, on the hats. An Aston, what they got, Starlight, which is one of these, on the ride, and I've got some AKG C414s on the toms. I think that's it. It's a lot of mics, and they're all going into Neve preamps and API preamps and Focusrite preamps, and yeah, it's taken me a long time to get this sound together, and I'm so proud of it. It's not perfect. I'm always going to be tinkering with it, but I'm so proud of where I've gotten to, considering I literally started out with zero knowledge about mics, preamps, how a studio even comes together. But now here I am, spouting off all of my gear to you, so I'm so sorry. Right, so Sarah said, when Virgil was recording, how was he keeping tempo without the drums? Relying on bass, don't worry about the name. Yeah, I'm so sorry about your name. Sarah, I can say Sarah, I know, that works. So Sarah, when Virgil was recording, he was using a click, and I don't know whether he was using this. It's funny that you say the bass, actually, because he actually sent me through drums with just drums and bass as a reference, so that I think he recorded to, so I'll play a bit of that. So that's what he recorded to, and that's how he kept time, but people will just play to a click, which does the job, and then I'll just record afterwards. Or what a lot of people do is what they record to a click will just be the rough guide. I will then record, and then they'll re-record to me. But everyone works in different ways, so it's just about working out the best way to work between us, and especially like this when it's remotely. So yeah, it's one of those things. But yeah, he recorded to that. Walrus Test, 16-inch hats, nice. Oh, yes, they are. I love them. Kev Cook, June the 9th. I'm June the 4th, and my husband is June 19th. So Geminis all around. Can you imagine a household with 2 Geminis? It's fun. No, do you know what's good though? We understand our strange idiosyncrasies. I don't know if you have this, Kev, but I find Geminis to be very indecisive is a nice way of putting it. I have a lot of Gemini friends. You should see us in a restaurant with a menu. It takes forever. Jonathan Kane, thanks, Emily. It sounded great, loved it, appreciate it. My pleasure, thank you for asking the question. And Sarah said, oh, thanks, no problem. Right, if anyone else got any questions, please put them in the chat. I'm going to start doing a comp of this. So, do you know what? If you're watching this and you think, I want to learn one thing from this, my one thing that I always say is the best thing ever, whatever you're using, DAW-wise, a digital audio workstation, I'm using Logic, find a way to save different versions of your song at different increments. So right now I've just recorded, so the first version that I have is called Record. Now if you're in Logic, I know you can't see this because I don't understand, but for some reason it doesn't show the menu thing when I click, or where the what's it called? What is the line called? The line? The playhead. The playhead. It's not even showing the playhead. I know that. And I don't know how to do it off the top of my head, and I haven't looked into it, and I shouldn't, I'm sorry. But if you're in Logic and go to File, then Project Alternatives, and create new alternative, it is just a lifesaver, because what it means is right now I can do a comp, but if it all goes wrong, because sometimes weird things happen and it all just goes a bit strange, I can always go back to this point because I know that this is a good point. So right, with that being said, always create alternatives. Let's go from the start. Let's create a comp that sounds good. Now, I'm pretty certain that I didn't like the beginning of this. Was it this? No, it wasn't the beginning. It was the fill into the first chorus. That's what it was. Let's take that click out of there because no one needs to hear that.
You can't have your cake and eat it too.
There is a click in there.
At least that's what they say is true. But if you're going to the moon, you better bring some mellow too. When it comes to me and you, who knows what's what and what is true?
Ha! That was it. What was I doing? No! What's going on? But I do know the take before I was happy with. Well, I think I was. So the reason that I did that, by the way, because it might sound a little bit odd if you haven't listened, if you haven't been here for the whole thing, in his guide track, there just randomly was this little stop, and it was so lovely, and just, it was almost like taking a breath, and I just fell in love instantly. So I was like, well, that's got to go in. It's literally the only bit of notation that I put on my chart. Okay. So I just want to check these fills because I did different things and I didn't know whether doing a hard stop was the right thing, and because I suppose because it ends that way it kind of works, but I just wanted to see what different versions I did. So I don't know if it's just a bit too harsh, but maybe it isn't actually, maybe it's okay. What's this one? Now I like the stop, I think. Let me just check number 3. Actually, that sounds better. I wonder how, because that. I'm just wondering whether take 3. I like to try and use one take as best I can. Like I said, I know I didn't like that fill, but maybe the rest of the take is good. I'm just going to see. And someone did say that they liked the last, I think they said they liked the last take best. I think they just said that was the take, but I didn't know which take they were talking about. Let's see. I think I prefer this. Messy, but not in a good way. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's a good thing to be messy. That ain't good. That was not good. I don't know what that was. No, I'll go back. I'll go back to the other tape. But I like that feel. It's a lot cleaner. By the way, don't worry. I will be doing all the fades and the proper cuts afterwards once I've flattened this. It looks like everyone's saying take 3 here, and I'm tending to agree with you so far. It feels more pushed and urgent, and I mean that in a good way. Like, I don't know, there's some nice energy that kind of goes with the playing, because there are certain elements of the instrumentation which are quite frantic, so I feel like it kind of needs that with the drums as well. And I think you're all correct. I think take 3 is overall the good thing, but I think there will be elements from other takes just to make it sound as good as it can. All right, let's keep going. Lovely. Oh, was that a bit pushed? Yeah, that doesn't work for me because the vocal is a little bit behind. That is Virgil's thing, and I think it needs to either I will choose a different take or I will use flex time to move it ever so slightly later. So I think if I choose something from here, hopefully it will. Yeah, that looks like more behind. That makes sense. Just check it. So, and then from here, just before I'm going to go back to take 3, because it does start lagging a bit, but not. Like I say, it's minute, and it's just about energy. Not sure about that fill actually. Let's see what take 1's doing. Yes, we got it. Go back to take 3. So that was a bit much with, I don't know if you heard that really high, it's too much in the same register. Not cool at all. And because of those cymbals up, we have to go from here and choose something else. Yeah, that works, but with a better cut as well. Yeah, I think it's about cut 2, but I think it's got to be cut a little earlier, so from there should work. Tried to create some variation. Oh, I'm not convinced about that though. Oh, I probably can fix that. Let's just see in case there's another one that's similar. Number 2 was just too mental for me. Too mental. Yeah. Oh no. Yeah, I think I will keep that, and I'll tell you for why. Because that same motif happened earlier, and I can move that. It's too early, but it's fine. And that was where I was meant to go to the ride. Right, I did go to the ride in take 1, so let's just fix that. This is the beauty of comping something together. Let's see how I go. Back to take 3 after I've gotten over my shame. I will come to the chat shortly. It's a bit messy here for me. It's a bit too pushed, you know? So let's just go from here and see about maybe take 2. So I wanted this last chorus to be a little bit more raucous because it's the last chorus after all. Or what I'm calling the chorus at least. What is up with me? It's just not good. And the whole deal with this is meant to be good. Okay, what are you doing? That's better. That's probably best. Is that drums? Oh, thank goodness. There must be a digital distortion in the backing track. Oh, it's things like that that just make you go, oh god, oh no, something's happened. I quite like that because it is a real breather. Because it, I mean, it's bonkers. Like, as in drum part wise, it's bonkers. But let's see what other people did. By other people, I mean other takes. Nope. So I reckon, I mean, it's between 1 and 3 for me. And it's number 3. It's more groovy. That was one of those moments where it didn't hit quite where I wanted it to. I mean, is it? I mean, maybe it's okay. I'm not convinced. Let's see what take 2 did. I know that take 1 was on the hat, so it's not even worth it. Okay, so just for that bit. And then we can go back to 3. Let's just see. Sorry, this is looking crazy. Yeah, that's stronger. Rather than go because it gets a bit messy. You want something really definitive, like this is finishing. Perfect. Like I say, I will sort that out. That is not good, but it's fine. For right now, it's fine. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I will look at the chat shortly, so if you have any questions, please put them in there. I'm just going to do a new alternative. It's all about the new alternative. So this is going to be called Flatten and Fade. In fact, yeah, okay. Let's do this. Sorry, just don't mind me. I'm just having a moment. So I'm just going to flatten this, which was going to take a second, which is why I said to put your questions in. So I thought maybe I'll just come over. Yeah, I'll come over real quick whilst it's doing that because it's taking its time for some reason. Where am I up to? Okay, so Richard Woods asks, do you do any processing on the way in? No, I don't. The reason is because I don't know what I'm doing. So I'd like to give the most raw and honest recording to anyone, and then they can do the processing on their end and do whatever they want. Gives them more option. Plus, like I say, I would probably ruin the recording because of my lack of knowledge. I'm not saying I wouldn't in the end. I wouldn't later on, but right now, definitely not the way to go for me. Trust me. If I don't know what I'm doing, then some very interesting things happen. Kev Cook. Ah, yes, that's so true. My late parents had birthdays in June as well, so my sister had 3 birthday presents to buy in 1 month. Dude, my dad and my sister are 6 days apart. I know that her pain, rather. But that's quite funny. And your pause is I could just see it. Poor thing. John Bonner. Quite a while since I was in Banners. I distinctly remember a biker's racing suit on the wall for some reason. That's funny. I don't remember that. I remember a weird... it has been a while since I've been. Probably about a year or 2, maybe 2 years. I remember a Bob Dylan album cover or something, vinyl. But most of all, I remember the jerk chicken, plantain, and rice and peas, and the peanut sauce. It's just the most delicious thing. It's actually got me salivating right now. What I wouldn't give for a Banners right now. Is anyone else hearing David Bowie? Yeah, I kind of get that. I love Virgil's voice. It's really unusual. What it reminds me of is kind of a mixture. It's sort of Tom Waitsy mixed with Serge Gainsbourg, and he did a song in French once, and it really just made me go, well, you're obviously Serge Gainsbourg. And so love him. Richard Woods, a bit lodger. Yeah, cool. Makiko says, I like take 3 or take ça. Is that right? Do you mean sang? Yeah, sang. How would you say? No, let's not do a Japanese lesson on the live stream. That's not the right thing to do. Jonathan Kane, yes, the last take was good. Yeah, I have to agree with all of you. I think on the whole, take 3 was really good, but I think there are elements that I've added from other takes which has made it even better, which is what we're about, just making it the best it can be. Walrus Tass, a hint of Bowie and a bit of, forget their name, the lead singer of TISM. An oldish Australian band. I don't think I know them. You know what? It's one of these weird things. I feel like I just don't know any music. I think it's because of the World Wide Web and all of that. Because everyone's saying, look at this and listen to that, and blah, blah, blah. And your consciousness of how much music there is. It's just so much music that it's bound to happen. You just feel like, I don't know any music, clearly. Laura says, either way, I'm digging it. I'm with you. Zalster is here, late as always. Well, at least you get to see a bit of it. That's good. And Matthew State, hello Matthew, hello Zalster. Richard Woods is saying hello, Matthew. All those fills are tasty. Thank you, Matthew. What a thing to say as soon as you come in. Well, you know how to get on my good side. Richard says +1, bless you. And Walrus is laughing. Probably a me is fine. Richard Woods says great attention to detail, impressive. Well, I don't know if it's impressive, but it's just, I don't know. I think it's that awful perfectionist kind of syndrome, but equally knowing when to leave it alone is really important. So I'm just doing a blanket fade between all the cuts, and now I'm just going to go over them individually, and I'm just going to solo them. After I do that, I'm then going to go back over and hear it with the song and then move. There's a couple of individual notes that I literally want to move. When I do that, by the way, it's going to take about 3 or 4 minutes to process. So please, I beg you, as your friend, as my friend, please ask me some questions just to, take up some time, because otherwise you're going to get some silly rambling from me, which is fine. If you want that, I'm all for it, but I'm just warning you, if you don't want me rambling about probably food, because a lot of food is on my mind right now. Then ask me some questions for when I'm processing so that I can do my flex time. But let's deal with these fades first, and you can think up a cool question to ask me or something. I don't know. I'm gonna look back in about like 5 minutes when we've done these fades and these cuts, and then she's gonna be like, tumbleweed. Nobody's gonna ask me anything. That's fine. I don't mind. Okay, right. Let's get going with this. Right. That's actually a good one, right? Cool. Happy with that. Oh, this never happens. Honestly, I don't know what's going on. Do you reckon that it's the universe going, I'm giving them less time to ask you questions, so you have to sit and ramble? I think it is. Right. Almost. So that'll be one that I want to move, I think. It's just a bit early. Might as well put a marker there just to remind myself, but it will come up. Click later. Later. Oh, it's a funny cut there. Sometimes when you hit symbols, it just goes a bit weird. Bit odd on the decay of that kick drum. Bring it here, so that works. Yep, that works. There's a cut that I actually need to do something to. Awesome. So if you hear that, it's just a bit like very cut off. Almost. A bit later. Almost again, a bit of a strange cimbally swirly thing, so maybe go later. Oh. Look again. Here. Because obviously the last fill that I did not have all this clashiness going on. I think that's it. Yeah, cool. Get them. Honestly, cuts have never been so easy. What is going on? Okay, so. Okay. Oh. I'm not saying okay, that's good by the way. I'm just saying, okay, let's see what this is. Let's see if that works. Because it's this flam like that, but one of them, yeah, cool. Yeah, one of them was articulated slightly differently. wrong with it? Right, there we go. That's one. That's sorting out. Oh, not together. Or maybe yes. Ja, together. Where did this go in here? So, oh, so this is going to have to move. This snare drum is a bit late, so move snare forward, which will fix that. In fact, that's that thing that's too early, isn't it? So maybe, actually, I wonder. Right, this is the time for experimentation, because why not? That's on the beat. Okay, that is bang on the beat, but I wonder if we just move all of this back a smidgen, I wonder if that will fix it. Oh no, but so close. You know what? Can it work? So, I wonder here. Yeah. So just that, because then we go into a fill, which is gonna be pushed, because just what happens sometimes. I feel like I'm going down a rabbit hole that could not end well. So, I'd love to tell you what I'm doing, but honestly, I don't know. I'm just trying stuff. Can you believe it? Oh, man alive. Oh, I love it when this happens. It's just so silly. Life is so silly. Right, I'm going to delete this little marker so I don't think there's something to do. Yay! Sorry, I mean, I made myself laugh because it's just, oh man, music is fun. Right, now I'm going to move some individual beats if need be. I really can't remember where I'm at with that. I know I've got this one move kick later, but I'm just going to analyse the whole thing, and I'm going to look with great, what's the word? I don't know. I just hope there's some questions. All right. Yeah. Let's do this. Okay. Right. It's doing its thing. So let's see how awesome you guys are. Right. Richard says great attention to detail, impressive. I think I already read that out. Right. Walrus Tass. Preloading a niche processing question. preloading a niche processing question. I've just said I don't know anything about processing. When I play, my right crash and right wing nuts tighten. Oh, just remind me, one of my wing nuts is really loose. My right crash and right wing nut tightens slowly, and my left crash slowly undoes itself. Any thoughts or suggestions? I've never heard of that. Well, I would suggest, because that would suggest. What would that suggest? That would suggest that if one of them is undoing. What is that doing? Undoing. That sounds to me like you're hitting it at an angle, which is making your cymbal spin, which in turn is making your wing nut come off, which makes sense because so you're on your left. So wait, what did you say? So on the crash and the right wing nut. Okay, so on the right, maybe you're hitting it like outwards, if that makes sense. So maybe try and hit downwards, or just change the way you're hitting it. See if that makes a difference, because it would make sense that if you're hitting outwards that way, and then inwards, like outwards that way, so maybe you're doing this, so maybe, I don't know, I've never heard of that, to be honest, but what I would say, if you don't want them to undo, I don't know, maybe stick some blue tack on the top, that might work. Oh, that went a lot quicker than I thought it was going to do. Right. Hold on, I'm going to answer all these questions. I just want to say the alternative, of course, because it's me. This one is called Fix. Right, so, and another preloaded question for processing chit chat. Walrus, I love you for this, thank you. And it's hard to tell from the camera behind the kit when you're doing takes. How high do you have your hats, toms, cymbals, etc.? Okay, so I'm really particular. No, do you know what? I'm not particular, but I am particular about the heights of stuff. I am particular in that if it hurts me, I move it, because I used to have really bad shoulder problems, and all it was down to was that the ride was too low. So it was putting me in a state of tension that would give me massive shoulder problems to the point that I literally couldn't play, which was just unbelievable and horrendous. And I've had that since I was 14 until way later than it should have been. But anyway, how high do I have everything? So snare drum is just, at the height that my stick lands, basically, and I sit on the lowest setting on a rock and sock drum stool. Basically, the height of everything is where I'm sat relaxed, and I go like this, and I can kind of reach everything. Yeah, there's not much more to it than that. The hats and the first tom are sort of in the same position. The tom is maybe slightly higher, but not much. Snare drum and the floor tom, they're at the same level. The ride is also at the same level as the rack tom. So I guess you're looking at like 3 levels, I guess, because then the crashes are just a little bit above that, but not a huge amount. I don't want to be stressing or reaching for things when I record. I just want them to be there, and I don't need to think about it. I just throw my arms out and things happen. It's different on a gig, obviously, because there's a performance element to it, but the performance element of this is more the chatting to you like this, and just getting a good take that feels good and sounds good. And to do that, I want to be able to just go blah, and then something comes out because I've hit something that I know I'm going to hit, if that makes sense. I'm not sure that that's answered your question, Lewis, but I try. Makiko, kind of cut and paste? Yes, I am. I always use like a cut and paste type thing, and switching between takes. I guess that is a type of cut and paste. It's just a very quick way of doing it, like to cut and comp together is, cutting and pasting, I suppose. That's a good way of putting it, actually. Walrus Task is such a subjective, personal thing. I find other people's setups super interesting. Yeah, no, you're totally right. I think you just got to find something that works for you, and for many years I got so sidetracked with looking at everyone else's setup and thinking that mine was no good. In fact, do you know what? Honestly, I caught myself doing this. When was this? It was just before lockdown, so 5-6 weeks ago. I don't know how long we've been in lockdown. I was doing filming for this TV show called The Voice Kids, and so The Voice is this singing competition, and I've been involved with the kids version of it, there's an adults version of it. Now on the adults version there's another drummer, amazing drummer, a friend of mine, Dexter Hercules. He's awesome, I love him, I've known him for a very long time. Anyway, his kit was there, and my kit was there. Obviously it was set up, I was playing it. And my kit on that gig is literally 1 tom up, 1 tom down, obviously snare drum, kick, hat, 2 crashes and a ride. So it's basically the same as what I've got in there, aside from that the toms are smaller. Like, they're just sort of 12, 14 as opposed to in there as 13, 16. Now, I love my kit and I love my setup, and I've had that setup for a very long time, and it just makes me feel at home and I feel comfortable. However, I went to go and have a gander at Dexter's kit because I'm exactly the same as you. I'm fascinated by the setup, and I went and I just thought, oh, this would be really fun. Do you know what happened? I looked at his setup because he has literally double of everything that I have. The size of his kit is insane. I loved it. It was like, so 2 snare drums, 1 main snare drum, 1 side snare drum for like a lower, like, kind of sound. Although for me, that's my regular sound. And then he had 2 rack toms, 2 floor toms. I mean, I can't even remember how many crashes and splashes and all sorts he had going on. And I honestly came away just going, really, really inferior. But anyway, I got over it because it's just like, you know what? Even if I had all those drums and all those cymbals, honestly, I wouldn't know what to do with them, and it would freak me out. In fact, going back to the Gemini thing, if I have too many options, it overwhelms me. And it's the same with the amount of drums that I have to hit. I need minimal drums to make maximum impact. That is just me. What can I say? Carl Bayliss is here! Hi! What's for dinner tonight? Well, Carl, I'm glad you asked. So, I'm not sure if you've been here since the beginning, but me and my husband have been doing this lean days, right? So, we've been eating really well, just home-cooked meals. To be fair, we've been eating a lot of home-cooked meals the last few weeks since this lockdown thing, which is great, because I love cooking, I love food, it's perfect. But this week, it's my fault. We have to eat some stuff from the freezer because I always make extra and free stuff, but our freezer is literally overflowing. So today we're having tucker dal, but with some cooked chicken mixed in, and then we're having aloo gobi which is like cauliflower and potatoes spiced, on rice with a little bit of side salad. And I'm even talking about it, I'm so hungry. I'm so excited right now. Oh my goodness. Thank you for asking, Carl. That's my kind of question. Zalster, has gardening taken off over there like it has over here? Yeah, not with us because we kill everything. But yeah, my sister is totally in the garden all the time, gardening, she loves it. And sewing, she started sewing, it's a good one. I'm doing puzzles, I'm relearning some Japanese, and I'm doing this. I'm recording, I'm creating a course as well, a drum course for drummers, professional foundations of being a drummer. Carl, not that you're cooking for me, obviously. I mean, hey, there's plenty in my freezer to feed all of you guys that are on here right now, so just come on over. No, don't come on over, I know that's against the rules. Graham Wilmot is here. Hello, Graham. Don't we have a track booked in pretty soon? I'm pretty sure we do. Looking forward to several minutes of rambling about food. I mean, I am what I am, and I'm not a singer. Hi, Em, by the way, YouTube has been eating all of my comments up until now. That's weird. Oh, I'm so sorry. I mean, not that I own or run YouTube, but I'm very sorry about that. That really sucks. Rhino's here. Hello, blah. And something comes out, sounds like my vocal technique. Rhino, that's not true. So both Graham and Rhino are brilliant artists that I work with from the studio. Yeah, that's really made me laugh. Bottle Studio, hey up, lad, how you doing? And Zalster said, did your sis buy one of those fancy sewing machines? No. Okay, I'll tell this story quick and then I'll get back to what I was doing. So, how long ago was this? 2015, end of 2015, I did a one-woman show called Feathers and Cogs. Part of this show was this whole, I won't go into it, but basically, had to make some costumes. I don't sew. However, my husband, who was a Marine, got taught how to sew as part of being Marine. It's called husbandry or something like that. So he bought a sewing machine and he used it, and he literally has not used it since. But we were clearing out the garage the other day, a couple of weeks ago, and found this sewing machine, and he was like, what should we do with this? Because I don't think I'm going to use it. And I was like, well, I'm certainly not going to use it. I'd probably end up sewing my fingers together or something silly like that. So we spoke to my parents and they said, oh yeah, well, we'll take it because my mum does a bit of sewing. And anyway, long story short, turns out my sister wants to get into sewing, especially since all this happened. So now she has it and she's learning to sew, which is awesome. Rainer says, do you have an Instant Pot? Oh yeah, I have an Instant Pot. Instant Pot is like the best thing ever. That and an air fryer. Live my life with those two things. In fact, I'm going to be making some brown rice in my Instant Pot. best thing ever. Love it so much. Adam Stanley Drummer, hello. Desperately trying to think of an Alu Gobi pun. Well, you keep thinking whilst I actually do some work like I should be. Alright, let's go through this. I just want to check it against the track and move along any notes that need to be moved, and then I'll come back to the chat, and then I'll be sending this off to Mr. Virgil Deuce, the lovely Virgil. Right, okay, right, let's go.
You can't have your cake and eat it too. At least that's what they say is true. But if you're going to the moon, you better bring some mellow too. When it comes to me and you, who knows what's what and what is true?
Hold on. Tad early. Well, that's fine. That's fine. I'm so sorry, this is slightly serious. That's not that late. In fact, I think this does need to go back to where it was. Which looks like where it was originally. Okay. Oh. Oh, that kick was just ever so slightly early for me. Oh yeah, but you can see it on the grid. Not that that means anything necessarily, but what that could do is just pulling back slightly that fill there. Again, it might be on the grid, it might not be. Let's see. Let's see. That one. Oh. Yeah.
That I don't have too much to say. But if you're going to the moon, you better bring some mellow tunes. And if you know just what to say, then you can have it your own way.
It's a bit rushed. Again, it doesn't necessarily need to be on the grid, but it needs to work. Maybe it's the fill as well, actually. Okay, good. Back in some still so I just on the grid. It is. Shut up. One thing there. That. Is it that? Maybe it's not that. It might not be that. It might be this. Oh no. These. I can see that all you lot are all talking about puns right now. I'm joking. I'm being an idiot. Right. It's a bit so on, which is fine, but there we go. Remember that one? That little puppy. That's just a bit early. Bit eager beaver there, isn't it? Right. Okay, that solved it. Nice and easy. An easy fix. This I need to solve, sorry. That's a bit late. No, it's not. Maybe that's early. There we go. Maybe that can go a little bit later as well. Ever so slightly. Can I just say that the gap that was my paying homage to John Bonham in my head at least. That smidgen that way. Bit early, and no doubt that's also a bit early, eager beaver. digital distortion was on the track, not on the drums. Just want to say that. Yeah! Awesome. What a tune. Love it. Love it. Virgil's awesome. Alright, let's come back. I saw some puns going on, so I need to come in. Are you ready for me to make puns really unfunny? I'm terrible at puns. I'm just going to sit here a lot going, what? Okay. Right, first off, right, so Walrus Task, anywho, just ticked over 1 a.m. Time to get some sleep. Love your work, stay safe and enjoy your dinner. Until next time, Walrus Task, thank you for being here. Thank you for conversating. That's not a word. Thanks for having a lovely conversation with me. Rainer says, we love ours. I think you're talking about the Instant Pot. Oh, I love that Instant Pot. Johnny Chew, hello. Hi, everyone. Greetings from Hong Kong. Wow, very cool stuff. Thank you, Johnny. I have sent you take 2. So we were on with Johnny yesterday doing his song, which is an awesome rocking tune. He's a wicked guitarist. So, yeah, go check out his stuff too. And like I said, there's a live stream from yesterday. There's loads of links to his stuff there. Pardon me. Adam Stanley, Alu Gobi recording more. I got this one. Alu Gobi recording more drums today. Alu Gobi. Yeah, that's a good one. I'm sorry. It's fine. It's fine. I think that 80% of being a musician is actually being good at puns. This is what I'm realizing. I'm terrible at them. At being a good musician is what I mean. Rainer likes it. Graham, ouch. Alu Gobi doing any more of those puns? Please, guys, come on. Rainer, what did the drummer say to the dessert? Oh, goodness. Zalster has a funky kind of... Zalster, I love you for bringing this back to the song. Thank you, please. Thank you so much. Has a funky kind of sound to it. Reminds me of Red Hot Chili Peppers, but that's just me, a non-musician. Hey, if you've got 2 ears on your head, then you have a valuable opinion. So Zalster, I'm not having any of that. And I agree. I think it does sound kind of Red Hot Chili Peppers-y, and I think it sounds great. Mikiko, time to go to bed slowly. Oyasumi. Oh, Oyasumi! And arigato matane. Arigato gozaimashita. And dana matane. Does that mean see you tomorrow? I know you're gone now, but I think that means see you tomorrow. So I hope I do see you tomorrow, Mikiko. And as I say, thank you so much for being here. Graham says, really loving the funky fills in this one. Thank you. Yeah, like I said, on the guide track, it was quite kind of funky and quite expressive. So I kind of let myself go there. I hope that Virgil likes it. He might come back and go, oh, did I not mention I wanted you to just completely make it simple? And Johnny says, thanks, Emily. Take 2 is perfect. This is from Johnny's track yesterday. Replied to you on the mail just now. Appreciate that, Johnny. I appreciate you taking the time to do what you did for me, and yeah, like I appreciate a lot of things about you, Johnny, and all I can say is thank you. It's a wicked song. I'm so glad that you're happy because I'm really happy with it as well. So I'm glad that we're both in the same place with it. Makes me super happy. Rainer, breaking news. Drummer says one-eared people's... I love it, Rainer, you kill me. Breaking news. Drummer says one-eared people's opinions are invalid. You can have, do you know what? You can have 2 ears, you can have 1 ear, you can have no ears. Your opinion is still valid. All right, Rainer, I'm just clearing that up. Okay, you guys, right. I think I'm happy with this. I've just saved it. What I'm going to do is just do a bounce of the song with the backing track, and then I'm going to send out some demo stems as well, and fingers crossed he likes it. I mean, I've really enjoyed this so much, not just from the playing side of things, but from the chatting with you guys side of things. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for being here. When am I next back live streaming? I tell you when I am back. I'm back on Friday at midday, BST, British Summer Time, here, English time, London time. Not on YouTube, actually on Instagram, to do a live Ask Me Anything Q&A type thing, or just to basically have a chat. So if you're around and you fancy doing that, come hit me up on Friday at midday. But when I'm back in the studio, recording will be next week. I want to say Wednesday. It's either Tuesday or Wednesday, but I'll put it up on my social media so you can see. It's with Paul Kim and Francis Kang, who are Bird Times Butterfly, and it's doing another song with them, who are this just brilliant duo from, I think they're from Chicago. I'm almost certain that they're from Chicago. But anyway, I'm going to love you. I'm going to leave you. Have a wonderful rest of your week if I don't see you, but hopefully I will see you on Friday. Okay, lots of love, you guys. Take care. I'm going to enjoy my aloo gobi tonight. All right? See you later. Love you guys. All right, bye, guys. Bye.